check, test 1, 2, mic check. Good.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and sincerely sorry for the delay. As I think Interim Chief Huffman speaks, the reason for the delay may become obvious. We're here today because we've gotten, as you can imagine, and as some of you know, an exorbitant number of inquiries regarding the events from last Wednesday, the evening, July 13th, that stretched into Thursday morning, July 14th. We've viewed an overwhelming number of hours of body cam video. We know there's hundreds of that out there. We've turned that over to the BCA as they continue their investigation. Today is an example of us consistently trying to evolve our processes. Today we are going to follow a process that we've seen other agencies throughout the country use when it comes to release of body-worn camera video. This is a process you can expect going forward. Mayor Fry and Chief Huffman will be giving remarks at the start of this event, and then they're open to taking very few questions, as I mentioned earlier. We had talked about that a little bit earlier. Remember, and you'll hear this several times today because it can't be said enough, this is an ongoing BCA-led investigation. Undoubtedly, we won't be able to answer everyone's questions. It won't happen. Additionally, I want to tell you that as we stand here today, we're going to be sharing some of the best information we have. Some of this, as investigation may go forward, may be cause for clarifying. Today, this is what we have. We will be showing footage of the first moments that officers arrived to a call of shots fired, discovered that it was an active shooter situation, and the final moments of a more than 6-hour incident. Of the body-worn camera footage, this is some of the best video we have at this time. We also know that there's other video out there that we haven't seen, that the Minneapolis Police Department hasn't seen. There will be several calls today for people to bring forward that video to the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension as they continue their investigation. We want what everybody else wants, and that's a thorough investigation. With that, I'll bring forward the mayor and the chief.
Good afternoon. I'll start by saying the obvious, which is this is not an outcome that anyone wanted. My deepest condolences go out to the family of Mr. Sundberg. I had the opportunity to speak with them earlier today. I can't imagine the pain that they're presently going through. Today, we are releasing body camera footage from this officer-involved shooting, including both the first and final moments of the incident itself. After the initial 911 call, which referenced shots fired, officers responded to the situation. They arrived on scene, and they rescued a mother and 2 children who were frightened and vulnerable, all during an active shooter situation. What followed from there was a 6+ hour standoff between Mr. Sundberg and the police. The objective here in releasing this body camera footage is to be transparent, pure and simple, but we very intentionally will not narrate what you are about to see. You can view the footage shortly for yourself. It will be available on the city's website. Additionally, we've taken this additional time over the last several days because we and the police have had to review hundreds of hours worth of body camera footage to ensure that we are open, that we are transparent in this effective release. So We will certainly be open to questions, but as you know, there is an active BCA investigation that is happening right now, so many of these answers will likely come as that BCA investigation unfolds. Again, the purpose of taking the additional time is to get things right. In all of these situations, there is an ongoing balance between getting information out quickly and getting it right, and the goal here is to err on the side of getting it right. I'll now hand this off to our Interim Chief, Amelia Huffman, who can say a few words, and then we will open it to a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I concur with the Mayor's statement this afternoon. This was not the outcome that anyone wanted. We offer our condolences to Mr. Sundberg's family and friends for their loss. I have just come from meeting with Mr. Sundberg's parents, and they have had the opportunity to watch the video that is being released today. This critical incident occurred after an active shooter incident and standoff that lasted more than 6 hours. I'm so thankful that the mother and her 2 toddlers escaped harm from the bullets fired into their home, and that our officers were able to assist her in getting out of the building without themselves being shot. While we cannot comment on the ongoing investigation or the outcome, there were a lot of people who did great work in this incident, including officers from across the department who responded to handle the 911 call, establish a safety perimeter, provide tactical resources, establish communications, and work toward a peaceful resolution of this call. They demonstrated bravery under fire, a commitment to protecting the public, and the determination to use communication whenever possible. I thank them for their service and the work that they do every day in the face of great danger. The investigation by the BCA remains open and ongoing, and I have no further information to share with you at this time. We ask that anyone who has additional video or information about this call, please contact the BCA to share that for their investigation. Thank you.
Questions, please.
Mayor, why did the officers open fire at the moment they did?
So that particular question as to the timing of when officers opened fire is definitively subject to the BCA investigation, and I am not able to talk about that at this point in time.
Who gave the authorization for the snipers to shoot?
There is no authorization required. If you read our force policy language online, you can read certainly all of the details of that, but officers will respond to protect their lives or the lives of other people in the moment with no pre-authorization required.
Was Sniper ever shooting at police?
So we have made a commitment not to narrate this video for you today, and so in the interest of not prejudging what you will see in the video, I'm going to refrain from answering that question.
We know in some of the videos that have been released by bystanders and things like that, megaphones were used to make contact with Tekle. Were his parents or police ever able to speak directly with him?
So some of that you will see in the video that is being released today, efforts to speak with Mr. Sundberg. Ultimately, our efforts to establish an open chain of communication were unsuccessful. We did try multiple avenues, including the public address system, as well as contacting him with phone calls and text messages, including video messages that were recorded by his father and that were sent to him, as well as played over the public address system.
Based on what you've seen, Chief, so sorry, back here, based on what you've seen, do you feel that officers followed their training and your best practices?
So I'll step in right now. So our intention is to neither narrate nor put an end value on specifically what happened, because we want to get this right. We had a number of people, both officers and otherwise, that did respond bravely through the circumstance, but we want to make sure that we get the information right, and we want to make sure that an investigation is going to be able to be conducted without any undue influence whatsoever. That's the whole purpose here of today, and I'll note that we've changed our process. around releasing officer-involved shooting body camera footage. We're constantly improving. We're constantly trying to do things better. And again, part of doing things better is making sure that we're, one, getting it right, and two, we're not coming out with information too quickly before we know precisely what happened. And so the chief has shared her general sentiments. I have stated what we were able to view as factual evidence and what we know with certainty to be true. But we aren't going to answer questions beyond that because the footage within the video, one, speaks for itself, but two, will be the subject of an ongoing investigation that will provide answers here shortly. So thanks again for the questions, and we'll be releasing the video footage very shortly here. Thank you.
Mayor, people want to know what led to the escalation of force in this. Does the video even show that?
So what we'll do now is show the video. As I mentioned earlier, once the video is complete, Katie Lauer from the Mayor's Office and myself will be around to try and answer some questions if there's any follow-ups. And if there's information that we cannot answer at that time, we'll certainly work to get those for you. Again, as we had said earlier, this is part of a BCA investigation. Even though we had said that earlier, there's several questions here that were directly involved with information that was about the investigation. I will reiterate, I'm not going to be answering any questions about the investigation.
Very quickly, can you prelude what we'll be seeing and if there'll be
Yep.
some silence within this?
Yep, so there will be some silence. The intent is that you'll also hear some audio, some conversations. You will also see some slides. Some of that will be based on the factual conversations that were happened between the officers and what was being relayed to them. And it's approximately a 15-minute video.
This is what the family's seen earlier, right?
Correct. The family has seen what you're about to view and what will be online.
What time did the family see the video?
I would say this afternoon.
So like 2?
I would say this afternoon.
Folks need to move anywhere before I start this? I will move. I'll move.
We're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's behind back there, though, right? Perfect. Yeah, I got more partners coming. Police! Police! Police department! Shots fired, shots Shots fired inside the door stairwell. I'm not hit, but they're shooting through the door.
Copy, officer Intel 904 21st Avenue, call responding squad, channel 1.
Upstairs! 3 fucking bullets! 3 over, keep there. Yeah, right there, fucking. Police! Come on, stand back, close the door. Hey! Go this outside! Go this outside, hey! You guys stay here, send everybody else. Hey! Get me on the right here, traffic on the apartment 318 on the northeast corner. Police!
From 318 northeast corner.
Here, quick, yeah. Okay, we're good. You got a rifle? Get it on that door. 318? I need, you're fucking barricaded. Okay. Are you inside? Get him inside the SWAT. Okay. Come on, your apartment door with your hands up. Why don't you come on your apartment door with your hands up? You're under arrest, we're not going anywhere. Come on outside. Come on your apartment with your hands up. We're not going anywhere, you're under arrest.
Exactly what he wanted. So that's enough. That's.
Come on the apartment with your hands up. We're not going anywhere. Go out the apartment door, keeping your hands up. You're under arrest. We're not going anywhere. Mr. Sumner, we need you to come out and cooperate with us. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to go home. We want to make sure you get the help you need. Come on out. Come on out. Sir, can you come out your apartment door with your hands up? You're under arrest. Oh, man, he's talking to somebody on the phone. He's very uncooperative. He's trying to take his phone call. Come on your apartment door with your hands up. Minneapolis police, you're under arrest. Come on with your hands up. Andrew, come out your apartment with your hands up. You're under arrest. Minneapolis police. He's threatening to shoot the officers and he's breaking up some of the windows. Hey, Tommy, just make sure you are not exposed. We don't even need to be in. We don't even need to be on there at all. That's what we got AP for. Okay. Whenever you go over there. There's the gunshot. One of my shots fired. He shot so far.
He just went tucked in. Can't see it. He's got a cell phone. What's that? Camera? You want it on? It's on. Gun.
As you can see from the video that we have, and as is mentioned on the slide, we don't yet, we have not identified the video that shows the clearest images of what happened at that time. We ask, we know that there is video out there that residents, media members have. We ask that they share that with the BCA so we can get this concluded as much as possible. One of the things that we struggle with, and it was shown in that last video, is the spotlight that was being used at 4:30 in the morning makes things bright. It whitewashes things out. And that's one of the challenges we had. So if others have video, please share that. We want a full and thorough investigation, just like everybody else. With that, thank you very much for coming.